Hi, I'm Angela Caputo with the Chicago Reporter, and we're at Carter's Barbershop in North Lawndale, and I'm with Ilana Rosenzweig, who heads up the Independent Police Review Authority, which is the independent monitor that evaluates police misconduct cases in Chicago. Hi, Ilana.
Hi.
So we're going to just talk a little bit about cooperation. Ilana, what kind of cooperation do you need from the public in order to really launch an investigation?
Well, we need to have members of the public, whether they're the victim of police misconduct or witnesses to it, come and give us a statement, explain to us what happened in the incident, and give us as much detail as they can to help us understand what occurred in the incident, and also identify the officers. And then we need to have at least one person who witnessed it sign an affidavit saying that what they told us is true. We work really hard to get that cooperation, and sometimes we will, either through general meetings to the public or just going out and talking to people and going to their house and explaining to them why we need to get their statement.
I've heard from attorneys, though, that they're reluctant to have their client sign that affidavit because they're afraid that they could give some conflicting information or something that they say in that sworn statement could be used against them in their lawsuit. How do you get around that?
Well, that's a problem for us. Under our lawsuits, I was a litigator, so I understand that the attorney logic of they're concerned about having their clients speak to us because something they say to us could conflict with something they're going to say in the lawsuit. And so I understand that from a litigation perspective, but at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're audio recording their statement. So whatever they tell us is what they tell us. And so if they're telling us what happened, then there won't necessarily be conflicts. And it is really important to have that cooperation. But it is difficult because I understand from the attorney's perspective that that's advice that they may give to their client.
Okay. So, thank you so much for coming down to the barbershop. I know that it's not always fun being on the side of getting the questions, so we really appreciate you.
Well, thank you for having me.